This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends, what's happening? It is Tuesday afternoon. This is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man coming to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. If you're heading to Petco Park because you're going to these playoff games against Philadelphia, if you're heading north, well, on your way back south, it's only 7 minutes south of downtown San Diego. If you're heading south, you get done with the game, you want to calm down, maybe go play some blackjack, poker, have something really good to eat, a good drink. Sammy's Restaurant and Bar, casino, smoke-free environment. You know the deal. 7 Mile Casino, 7milecasino.com. We are just getting onto the radio airwaves, just getting onto the stream of YouTube, all the different audio podcast platforms. And tonight, I don't think anybody's going to be watching us on TV because I think everybody's going to be focusing in on the Padres and the Phillies. And there are even a couple other sporting events tonight that some of you might have your eyes on, but I would think everybody in San Diego anyway is thinking Padres and Phillies. Grande, let's start off today by first and foremost going through, we have a short show because I never thought this would happen again, ever, that we would be preempted by Padres baseball on the mightier 1090 on the radio side of things. Never thought we'd be preempted by Padres baseball ever again, but the game is on tonight and the game starts at 5. And check me on this, but the pregame, the ESPN pregame starts at 4:30. So everybody who's driving into Petco Park right now, stay with us. Everybody who's on YouTube, shorter shows so that everybody can get done and get themselves all set up for tonight's game. Do I have this whole thing correct?
That we are getting preempted by Padres NLCS versus the Phillies? Yes, 100%.
Yeah. And that
the game
that knocks us off the air early tonight.
On the radio side of things, yes, it does.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Amazing how yet again today, and I got it, dude, not everybody reads the newspaper anymore, but for anybody who gets the hard copy of the newspaper, and I still have plenty of friends that they just still like to hold on to it, you know? Like, I'll give you an example. The other night, I was at a restaurant, and they had, the QR code, and I click on the QR code, and I said to the girl who's working behind the bar, I go, this may sound a little crazy today, but do you have, like, the big menus? I hate looking at the menu on my phone.
I need a menu.
Yeah, like
I need a menu. I don't care. Call me what you want. I need a menu. I look at my phone enough. I don't want my menu on the phone. I'm not ordering online. I'm standing in front of you. Have some courtesy. Give me one of them big ass menus. I'll wipe it down.
Yeah.
Old.
Yeah. I mean, you say old, but I will just say I think Browner
the only person wearing glasses on the show.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Old.
Wow.
I bought these from a Halloween store for when I go full nerd alert.
Oh, really? Full nerd alert. Look at him. Look at him.
Spin rate.
Analytics. Numbers.
Beep,
beep, Steve Urkel.
In the meantime, I'm with you, Browner. I'm on my phone so damn much as it is. When I'm sitting at a restaurant, I don't want to be ordering or looking at a menu on my phone. Here's my point. Some people still like to hold on to the newspaper, while other people will get their news on their phone, on their computer, on their tablet, whatever. But here's the thing.
Let me guess. You guys also want printed tickets out when you go to an event? You also want your tickets printed when you go to Disneyland?
No,
because
listen.
You can't handle pulling up an app on your phone.
Okay, let me press you on something, then, sir. Since you talking, Mr. Millennial, let me press you on something.
Gen Z.
How whatever you want to call yourself these days. How awesome would it be for you to have a physical printed ticket of the game we went to put it in a frame?
So what's funny you say that
I'm just asking the question.
No, I know exactly. What's funny you say is because you're Gen Z. I actually was going to ask Scott because he's the one that has the tickets for my ticket because it's 2022, not 1965, and MLB lets you turn your ticket into an one-of-a-kind NFT for your digital records.
Wait, so you're saying that the tickets that we bought on Saturday night that I got on the Ballpark app that I had in the wallet of my phone, I can give that to you and you can turn that into an NFT?
Exactly.
He's deleted those tickets, man.
No, I didn't delete them. I still got them.
And they look pretty cool. I'm trying to find a video. I don't know if Let me just airdrop this.
No, I still.
I
Well,
would-
wait a
I
second.
would
I thought
want-
I still had them. Well, no, but it says here that there's 77. It's telling me here on my phone I've got 77 expired passes.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
God.
right. So is that? Well, these
How's
are
your
all
phone
airline.
not
They're in there.
slow?
They're in
They're
there.
in there. You
Oh,
got
here they are.
77.
Here they are. I found them. Here they are. Yeah. NLDS, section 113. Here they are. I got them right here. So what do you want me to
Yep.
do?
So if you forward it to me,
Yeah.
and I can turn it into an NFT, which is better than whatever Browner just said.
No, it ain't.
Framing
No, it
a
aink.
piece of paper.
If
Well, you know what?
Listen to this guy.
Look at this.
What are you
we
gonna?
looking
That's
at?
on your again. That's on your phone, dude. Like,
Yeah, where everything else is.
Well, you know, it's funny, Browner. I went when I went to that concert a few weeks ago up at the
What are you
Forum.
gonna do with that? What
When
are you gonna do with a framed ticket?
Dude,
that makes it awesome.
Dude, when I went to the Forum a few weeks ago for that Taylor Hawkins tribute show, I actually went to the will call, picked up, they gave me a hard copy ticket, right? I had it in my pocket. That night, I got home, I emptied my pockets like on the nightstand by my bed. The freaking ticket, all crumbled up, is still sitting by my bed. Now,
Yeah.
I look at it and I'm like, why don't I just throw that out? And then there's a part of me that's like, why don't I do something with it? Because it was probably the greatest concert I've ever been to in my life. And I'm never going to see that again.
There
And
you
I'm
go.
not, but I'm like too lazy to frame stuff. I don't do stuff like that.
See, for the purpose of having background stuff for the show,
Yeah.
that's an easy thing to do. You get that, you frame it, it's in the back the whole time, everybody wins. As opposed to Mr. NFT here, you would have to put it on the screen and have it be a rotating background drop.
Well, let me
Who
ask you
wants
this
to do
question.
that?
Let me ask you this. You go to the airport, okay? You just recently flew home to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the airport, do you have your airline ticket on your phone or do you have it printed out?
I get them to print me that piece of paper.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
You're
actually,
showing your age, man.
yeah.
No, I'm showing my comfort zones. See, there's a difference. I'm showing my comfort zones. I'm comfortable more with things in my hand. I am far more comfortable with
Your
cash.
phone is in your hand.
I'm far more comfortable with cash. I'm far more comfortable holding
You
the
guys got to
physical
see.
ticket.
Hold on. You guys got to see what's going on here. Hold on one second. Fat Tony just walked in. Okay. The dog sees Fat Tony. Now the dog is
Did he-
sniffing
did it
Fat
bite him?
Tony. He has no, but he's barking
There it
at him.
goes.
He's
There it
barking at
goes.
him. Fat
He'll
Tony
get
Watch
just
your ankles.
Fat Tony
Watch
just
your
walked into
Achilles.
my house. Here, let me see what you have here. Hold on. Let me see what Fat Tony's got here.
More stuff for you to
Look at this.
donate to the stadium.
Careful. Just tell him to kick him. Kick him.
His ass.
I know. Look, Fat
Oh,
Tony.
look, printed.
Fat
printed,
Tony's got
Browner.
Hassan Kim. He's got Manny heads.
Can't do that on your phone.
That's Cronenworth.
Oh, it
It's
is.
gonna be comparisons all day.
Cronenworth?
What you can and can't do
That
on your
doesn't
phone.
look like Cronenworth to me.
I got Cronenworth.
That's Hassan
Oh.
Kim.
That's
in your
Hassan
hand.
Kim on your
Cronenworth
left,
in your
bro.
hand.
I got him screwed up. Wow, cool. And then Fat Tony, look what else he's got. Let me see what else Fat Tony's got. And you, dog, stay here.
I'm about to kick his ass.
I know. Well, that if you don't kick his ass, he'll.
Hey, can you don't do it on camera? That's
What?
animal abuse.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Don't
want to
kick
kick
the
the
animal
dog's ass,
on-
man. Just-
no, I'm talking to Fat Tony.
Mexicans inside the house.
He's Fat Tony. Wait, I'll let you say that. I'll let you say that. Fat Tony goes, he's not used to Mexicans being in the house. He's used to Mexicans being outside the house.
Very true.
Freaking Fat Tony.
Nah, that's why he bit my Achilles, both of them.
Take a look at this. Fat Tony's got all kinds of new merch. FT got all kinds of new merch. My son called me from college because I'm going to see him this week. He's like, Dad, I got to have some Padres merch. Even my father called me from Florida and wants Padres merch. And I'm even getting Padres merch for all my colleagues up in LA. All my 710 colleagues, I'm getting them Padres merch.
Are they rooting for the
No, of course not. Of course
So
not.
why are you getting them merch?
To just sort of say to them, hey, maybe you should jump on this bandwagon.
You should buy all of them Hey King shirts.
Oh, that's a very solid idea.
Mhm.
That's a really good idea. You
'Cause
know,
they
I
love to
feel-
wear rompers, so they would love a Hey King shirt.
Well, I like a romper myself,
Stop
I
it
mean,
with this.
I'll just say this. I feel like one of the things about this whole situation is that, and Alex, you and I have been together a long time, so you kind of know my history on all of this. I feel like I did so much for so long with the Padre organization, and they were always so bad, and now they're good. And I must admit, I've kind of got this like resentment towards like them leaving 1090.
No,
I know, right?
You
And
can't hear it at all.
I know, right? And you want to know what's happened is it's actually blocked my pleasure from what is happening in this city. You know, if you go back to Saturday, you know, you go back to Saturday, Alex, and you show some of the pictures of us hanging out at Union Kitchen and Tap, and it's all people that have been longtime great friends, longtime Padre fans, and longtime supporters of the show. And you start showing some of the pictures of the fun that everybody was having on Saturday. And I've come to realize, because Rachel ripped my ass last night, and she was the
Whoa, that's
one
private
who,
information, bro.
no, what I mean is that on like Saturday night, remember, I was standing there front row. I've got on my Hey King t-shirt and my sided hat, and I go back to see her, down below where she's hanging out. And she's like, "Why are you front row and not promoting San Diego, not promoting the Padres?" And I'm like, "Well, because I came down here to just sort of troll my people up in LA." And she's like, "Yeah, but come on, man. You've been in San Diego 20 years. You've been around the Padres for all these years. You've seen all of this losing. You've talked about all of your battle scars around this franchise, and you're not going to at least show some love and support." And I'm like, "Gosh, man, I am letting my
No,
like,
no.
oh,
See,
what?
that's what you needed me standing around. Because
Tell
I'd have
me."
been like, girlfriend, that's a great thought. Also, here's the thing. This thing on my head, that's my company. This thing on my chest, I'm also in charge of that. So this is money and this is money. As an accountant, you should be able to know the more I'm wearing this, people see me wearing this, they'll want to wear this.
But
Not a
Browner,
Padres hat.
but
That doesn't go
Browner,
to me.
but Browner, she is a San Diego girl.
That's her
She has
problem.
she has two boys that are
That's the
San
hat.
Diego fans, okay? And she felt like I, as somebody who has been a de facto mayor of San Diego for the last 20 years, she thinks I should be more supportive. And I'm thinking to myself, gosh, like it started to go through my head, like, what is my problem? You know, like what is bothering me about all of this? And then I started to figure it all out. And then I was like, she's right, man. I am not being as supportive as I should be. Alex and I both made a commitment in the first half of the season. Don't be excited. Let's not get too high. Let's not get too low. Second half of the season, dude, I thought this thing was going to unravel. People were making bets with me. Like, I'll bet you they make the playoffs. I'm like, they're not making the playoffs. I've been, as my son would call me, a hater. I call it more of a doubter. And you know what? Now that we've gotten through, and I was at the greatest, probably one of the greatest sporting events in my 20 years of San Diego on Saturday night. I've never been to a baseball game like what I experienced on Saturday night. Not opening day of Petco Park in 2004, not playoff games in 2005 or 2006, no Dodger game, no Red Sox game, no Giants game. Nothing was like what we experienced on Saturday night. And you know what? Rather than just sort of being like the bitter person that I have clearly become in 20 years of sports in this town, dude, now it's time to enjoy this stuff. If for nothing else, as what I've talked about, for the fan base, dude, for the fans who have for 20 years and even longer lived through just garbage and trash and mediocrity and a lack of spending and being told that we'll never be able to because we're too small market and we don't make enough money. Now is the time to start really enjoying this run. And I just wonder, you guys tell me, will the fan base come back to life in this series against the Phillies? Or was the fan base hyped because it was the Dodgers?
I think the only issue we may have is Wednesday, where it looks like they have not come. They kind of took the day off because that's such a horrible place to put a game on the West Coast for a playoff game. But other than that, man, I'm expecting a full throated, super excited Padre fan base tonight or today at the game, and that's it. This bus is now leaving. It's got all its participants on it. That over 3 million people in San Diego County, and they all riding with the Padres.
I think we had yesterday to, you had Sunday to really
Mm-hmm.
enjoy what happened on Saturday. And I think yesterday, people like myself were like, yo, there's baseball to play. And I think the fan base has been there all year long. It hasn't been a Dodger thing. The Padre fan base has been there on Monday nights against the Marlins.
Yep.
Like they have been there all year long. It may not reach, I mean, there's levels to it. It may not reach Saturday night, seventh inning in the rain with Blink 182 playing, but it's going to be as packed as it should be. And it's going to be loud and it's going to be full of excitement because, I mean, when you put the whole thing together, whether it be the Chargers bouncing and people just really giving a double bird to the NFL, The Padres deciding to spend money at basically the exact same time that they did that. I think that this fan base has really grown over the last 5-6 years. And now it won't be a surprise for me when tonight at 5:07 the place is packed.
Right.
So
And it's loud and it's crazy.
So yesterday, I'm getting clowned up in LA that the Padre fans celebrated like they just won the World Series. And I told these guys yesterday, I go, you need to cool it, man. I'm like, you've heard the phrase act like you've been there before. None of these people have ever been there before, including myself. That's number one. Number two, you say we're acting like we won the World Series. I say what the fans are experiencing and what they're celebrating is the phrase now is slay the dragon. Peter Seidler, the owner of the Padres, said we need to slay the dragon up north. Winning this series against the Dodgers was it, man. We said successful season for the Padres was make the postseason. We didn't anticipate winning a series in New York and then winning a series at home against the Dodgers. Everything from here, I feel like is icing on the cake. But I hope, but I hope the players don't feel the way I feel.
I see. I hear you. I think if, let's say, for instance, they lose tonight's game, all that energy will subside. Now, when the season's over, people will be like, okay, well, we did have a successful season. We won 2 rounds in the playoffs. And in addition to that, we did beat the Dodgers. Ha, 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 ha. But we had an opportunity against a team, the Phillies, that we felt like we were better than, and we didn't capitalize on that. Or we got to the World Series and we didn't finish the job. I think the players think that we need to finish the job, and I think the fan base thinks that we need to finish the job. They're just excited about finally beating the Dodgers, and that all came out as it should have.
Well, you want to talk about winning the World Series now, because again, I hope Manny Machado and Bob Melvin and every player in that clubhouse is now refocused on, okay, guys, we did what no one thought we could do, but now the opportunity is we're playing the lower ranked team. And so it's not the Mets, it's not the Braves, it's not the Dodgers. Don't take them lightly at all. But this is now the opportunity to not win a playoff series. This is the opportunity to get to the World Series.
Right.
The Phillies are the Padres.
Yes.
I mean, they've taken the exact same route. You know, they didn't have the most stellar end of the season. They got in, they beat a team with a lot of tradition, a lot of history that was better than them in the Cardinals. Then they went out and beat a lot of people's pick to win the whole thing in the Atlanta Braves, and convincingly.
They beat them worse than we beat the Dodgers.
The Phillies have legit top 2 starting pitchers in Wheeler that's going tonight, and Nola, Austin's brother, going tomorrow. The Phillies, you know, haven't been in the playoffs for over a decade. They have a superstar in Bryce Harper. They got big time names. They got big time power hitters. The Phillies are the Padres. And if the Padres are content in just beating the Dodgers, that would be incredibly disappointing, which I don't think they are. And now you've never had a better opportunity to get back to the World Series than you do right now.
Exactly.
Because you beat the Dodgers, you beat the Mets, and you don't have to beat the Braves.
Right. Somebody else beat the Braves.
And I don't say it as a slap to the Phillies. I'm just saying, like, as far as perception goes, you don't have to beat the Braves. You beat a team that you're kind of evenly matched with on paper. So you beat 2 teams that were better than you on paper. Now I don't think there's an excuse for the Padres not to get to the World Series. And the Phillies in Philly, they're saying the same thing.
Exact same thing. Hey, we don't have to play the Dodgers. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Hey, look, all I'm saying is this. If you go back to Saturday and you take a look at some of those photographs from Saturday, because I'll tell you right now, Fat Tony just walked into my house with a merch drop. One of my favorite pictures from Saturday was Fat Tony and Big Brown over here with espresso martinis. I don't know what you guys were doing, all right? But these guys were drinking their espresso martinis, not espresso, espresso martinis at Union Kitchen and Tap. And they wrapped their arms around, look at how cute they are. Look at how cute.
Good.
Oh, look at Fat
Dude,
Tony.
that was a bomb espresso martini. That's all I'm saying.
It was good? You like that?
I'm going to get another one.
All right. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this one. And Fat Tony's got this picture. He just handed me this one. It's on his phone. I don't know if I can possibly put this on the air.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying. Okay, he'll send it, he says.
Yeah, send that. That is a good picture.
That's a good picture of all of us in the stands together. That's before I went all Coastal Elite on you guys.
Before you ditched us.
And then, and as Fat Tony says, and then they kicked out the Mexican, he says. because
did.
somebody showed up and they're like, "Oh, it's my seat." And he's like,
Can't
"Oh,
have two minorities in the same row.
well, 3. Don't forget about and Alex, 4. 4 of us.
Well, you
4
did. You
minorities.
did. So you don't count. You kicked yourself out.
I know I did. All right, hold on one second. Let me keep going with this because there is something very interesting that was published today by our friend Kevin Acey in the Union Tribune. And really what it does is it should give Padre fans real hope that winning the World Series could be a reality. Don't be like me. Don't be satisfied. Don't just feel like the dragon was slayed, the job is done. So there is some data that would tell you that beating the Dodgers leads to winning the World Series. We'll get to that story coming up in just a matter of moments. I think everybody's going to be really curious to hear this. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. You're making your way down to Petco Park. We're going to take you all the way there until you're parked and ready to go. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube, stick with us. We'll get you out of here so that you can get to the game. We're just getting rolling. It's Tuesday afternoon. This is Kaplan and Crew.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Your Health is brought to you by Clever Care Health Plan, your partners for comprehensive care.
I thought I was okay. I had a degree, I had work experience. I should be able to provide for my kids. But they're just things that you don't plan on in life.
My husband got laid off and we are a family of 5.
My mom was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I would ask the doctors, what can I do? And they would just say, just make sure she's eating. Our lives just changed completely. Thank God that we always had a plate of food.
When your air conditioner needs to be tuned up, repaired, or replaced, call Bill Howe, the name you have trusted for over 40 years. We carry the most reliable, energy-efficient brands that will fit your budget. Whether you are looking for a traditional or ductless air conditioning system, you know who to call.
Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE. Bill Howe. Because we know how.
Do the ups and downs of the financial markets have you on a roller coaster? Don't let the market take you and your investments for a ride. Stabilize your funds with SDCCU's Great Rate Savings, Money Market, or Certificate accounts. Choose a savings option that meets your needs and watch your money grow with SDCCU. Earn 1.5% APY on a 12-month certificate or 2.5% APY on a 36-month certificate. Open an account at sdccu.com/now. SDCCU, it's not big bank banking, it's better.
Change the way you look and feel with San Diego's most comprehensive varicose and spider vein treatment facility. San Diego Varicose Vein Treatment Center offers minimally invasive, pain-free procedures performed by board-certified cardiologist Dr. Tahizadeh. With over 17 years of experience, we specialize in the diagnosis of varicose veins, spider veins on the face, hands, and legs, ankle discoloration, leg swelling, and more. Improve your vein health today. Visit consultation.sdveintreatment.com or call 619-582-2404.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Hey, great friends, what's happening? This is Kaplan and Crew on Tuesday afternoon. We are on the airwaves of the mightier 1090, broadcasting from San Diego through Orange County, LA, Santa Barbara, the Central Coast. No matter where you are, if you are tuning in because you are accustomed to the Padres being on 1090 and you live further north, and for all these years you haven't been able to hear Padre games on the radio, we will have yet again the Padres and the National League Championship Series starting against the Philadelphia Phillies. Pregame starts at 4:30 this afternoon. 5 o'clock is game time, and you can hear it all here on 1090. As a matter of fact, Alex, I know you have the newspaper from this morning. I don't mean like the physical hard copy newspaper, but Bill Hagan about 6 a.m. this morning starts blowing up our phones. We did it again. Front page of today's Union Tribune, when the entire sports section is about the only game in town. There it is at the bottom of the page, Padres and Phillies tonight, 5 o'clock here on 1090. That is awesome. That is super cool. And by the way, guys, Fat Tony was just here at my house. He stopped in when we were at a commercial break and put this LFG SD sign. He goes, hey, I'm putting this in front of your Kaplan and Crew sign, in front of your neon sign. I'm putting this LFG SD sign. So FT just came in. We went outside. You guys have seen his car, right? Anybody who's driving around town is going to wind up seeing this car out there on the streets right now, because he put on the side of his car, let's effing go. And where the U would be in effing, he put in the SD logo. It's really cool. There's a picture of it right there for those of you that are watching on TV and watching on YouTube. Pretty cool. Browner, maybe we should get your car wrapped like that. What do you think? Wow.
Yellow card.
Yellow card is right, dude. Oh, what? I'm on mute? What? I'm on mute? What?
Mute.
What? Mute?
Mute.
Man,
Mute.
what you talking
Mute.
about mute? Man, look, I'm showing you my microphone's on, man. All right, well, it's not working. I can tell you that right now. That's a real shame. That's too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's a terrible shame.
Don't come for me like that.
What do
Don't
you
come
mean
for me like that, bro. Just a little
Wow,
minor look
we didn't do
around,
it.
see what was going on. Don't do that.
In the meantime,
You didn't do it.
I'm loving your
I didn't do it either.
I'm loving your Michael Ambacher hockey jersey that was supposed to go to Alex that you took. That I love that jersey that you're wearing.
So last time I wore this, they won 2 straight. So there's only one thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Wear it again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing it until they lose.
Okay. I like it. I do.
Umbacher special.
Hey, I just hope, listen, this is my hope. I hope that the fans are as into this series against Philadelphia as they were in the series against the Dodgers. Because my feeling is, like tonight's game, for example, people are saying to me, hey, you coming to the game? You coming down for the game? I'm like, no, I'm going to watch the game on television tonight. I'm very happy sitting at home watching the game on TV. Now, I didn't go buying tickets like I did for the last game. I haven't like put it out into the universe that I need or want tickets. So how about you guys? Would you guys rather be there tonight or would you rather watch on TV?
No, after that, I only need elimination game only tickets.
I'd rather be at every game. It's like that's just a lot of money.
I know a friend of mine.
The prices have not gone down. If anything, they've gone up.
A friend of mine sent me a message, and she said, "Hey, we're going to go to the game. Do you guys want to go to the game? We just bought tickets. $500 a ticket. $500. I'm like, I'm really happy watching it on TV. I'm not spending $500 to go to a baseball game. No chance.
I just dropped 500 bucks on Blink 182. I'm good.
How many tickets you buy for Blink 182?
2.
2 tickets, $500?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got it
more
really
expensive for both. For both, right?
There's more for both, yeah. It's more expensive than Bad Bunny, dog.
Dude, you got to really listen. I the other night they played that Blink 182 song. I don't even know any Blink 182. Like I don't feel like I know Blink 182's catalog at all.
It's my childhood, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
And yeah, they're one of the very few bands that I have not seen. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've seen pretty much every band I've ever wanted to see. So it was a must for me. Never seen them. They're coming to San Diego. Had to do it.
That's cool.
They added a second show because the first show sold out within 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So they added a second show, and that's what I'm going.
And when are these shows?
In June.
Nice. Oh wow, gosh, talk about planning, man. That's impressive. That is super impressive. Me, I wait until May, and then I'm like, okay, I'll start looking for tickets. You know,
right?
Gosh.
Well, I don't have the Hey King pool.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you just got to do things, man.
I understand. Hey, let me go back to Padres Phillies, and in particular, let's start off with this. I want to start off with the fans, and then I'm going to work into how can the Padres win the World Series from here. But let me start off with the fans.
Just start with beat the Phillies.
Well, I'm going to explain to you about beating the Dodgers and then what that means. And Alex pointed this out. This was something that was printed in the Union Tribune earlier today. Actually, let's just get to it right now. Alex, put this up on the screen if you don't mind. I didn't realize this. This is a good piece of research right here by Kevin Acey. Go ahead, Alex, read this for everybody.
If you beat the Dodgers, it's a good thing for you. Last year, the Braves beat them in the NLCS and won the World Series. The Nationals beat them in 2019, and the NLDS won the World Series. The Red Sox beat them in the World Series. The Astros beat them in the World Series. In 2016, the Cubs beat them in the NLCS and won the World Series. And in 2015, the Mets beat them in the NLDS and won the World Series.
I just want to reiterate this one more time. Hold it up there for 1 second. The Braves beat the Dodgers last year, won the World Series. The Nationals beat the Dodgers in 2019, won the World Series. They beat them in the NLDS. The Red Sox beat them in the World Series in 18. The Astros beat them in the World Series 17. I understand. Everybody knows that the Astros are a bunch of cheaters. I got it. The Cubs beat them in 16 in the NLCS and won the World Series. And the Mets in 2015 beat the Dodgers in the NLDS and went on to win the World Series. In other words, pretty much everybody, 2015, 17, 18, and I'm just trying to do the math
15,
here.
16, 17, 18, 19, every year except the year they won.
Everybody who has beaten the Dodgers has gone on to win the World Series. If you are a Padres fan, if you are a Padres believer, if you are what I have pretty much been, a Padres doubter, you read that and you see how everybody who has beaten the Dodgers has gone on to win the World Series. Oh, damn. What an opportunity that the Padres have right now. What an opportunity. And I'll tell you this. I've been getting a lot of my Philly friends hitting me up. Everybody wants to make a bet on this series. I had a guy this morning hit me up from Philadelphia. He said, yo, I got the Phils. You got the Pods. Padres win. Dinner of your choice. Any restaurant in Philadelphia. If the Padres win, or if the Phillies win, any restaurant of our choice in San Diego, because they're in Philly. And then I got all my college buddies who are from Philadelphia. And now there's a whole group chat going on. Alex, like you had your Dodger buddies and the Padre buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've got a whole bunch of my college buddies who are all Philly guys that are now all in. And I'm the only guy out in San Diego. So I just hope this. I felt like beating the Mets was an amazing thing. Successful season. Beating the Dodgers, never thought I'd see it. Incredible season. I'm good here.
I don't like your attitude.
No, stop that.
Bothering me the last few days.
But here's what I think. Here's what I'm getting at. Here's what I'm getting at.
You won your World Series already.
And I hope, here's what I'm saying. And I hope most people do not feel the way I feel.
But why do you feel that way?
I just feel like the emotion of Saturday night
LA Cap
and the finally getting over on the Dodgers.
You're going full east side on us.
No, I feel like that was like this emotional outburst that has created, like, in some ways, like wow, I just never thought I'd see that. And it did. And now I've got to get my head back together. You know, I got to get my stuff back together to go, hey, you know what? Beating the Mets was nice and beating the Dodgers was awesome. But now that you're here, that you've gone through the 162-game marathon, you've gone through spring training, you've gone through 2 series against teams that won over 100 games that nobody expected you to win. Now you get Philadelphia, and Alex, as you pointed out earlier, Phillies very much like the Padres. No one expected them to be here either. That makes it, I'm going to put this in quotes, an easier route to the World Series. So now the job has to get finished. You cannot be satisfied. And even if I am as a fan, like I'm satisfied, they beat the Dodgers. I never thought I'd see it. You cannot be satisfied because you're so close to the ultimate goal.
So you don't think you'll be more excited if they were to beat the Phillies? You don't think you would be more excited if you were in the park for Game 6 and Hader strikes out whoever he strikes out last for them to go to the World Series? You wouldn't be excited. The party won't spill into the streets and end in a bar at 2 a.m. like it did Saturday?
Yeah, it will. It will. I guess what I'm saying is that I need to reignite. With the Dodgers, you had this passion. With the Phillies, you don't have that. It doesn't matter though. It's like
yes, you do have the passion because the stakes just went up.
Yeah.
I think I got to put my therapist hat on here and trying to analyze your brain, Scott. And I don't think that you were expecting to care as much as you cared on Saturday. I think the fact that you ended up buying in on Saturday and feeling all those emotions,
big time,
like that's led us to this right now, where you're like, man, that was awesome, that was great. I never
was
thought
amazing.
I'd care that much.
It was amazing.
That was amazing. And now you're like, well, I'm satisfied because I felt so great Saturday. But I think people that have been living and dying since March or April, whenever the hell, or May, whenever the season started, I forgot there was a delay. I think people are ecstatic, obviously, that they beat the Dodgers, but now that carrot is still being dangled in front of your head now because this team's never won a World Series.
Mm-hmm.
This team is 0-2 in the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Like the chances that they have with this team right now, with the Phillies in front of them, I think people see the bigger picture now. And maybe, like, I agree with what Browner said. Maybe in 3 months, come December and January, and you're looking back at the season and they don't do it. Yeah, we can, celebrate what they did. But right now, in this moment, I can't vibe with how you're feeling, Scott.
No,
I'm all in.
Get me back. Get me back.
Yeah.
Believe me when I'm telling you, because I was talking to a couple guys yesterday, and they're like, and this one guy was saying to me, he goes, dude, I'm freaking exhausted. And I'm like, from what? And he's like, from Friday and Saturday night. And I just have this relief that they actually did it, that they beat the Dodgers. And I said yesterday, I'm like, winning the World Series now would be a cherry on top. And my buddy Steve Mason up in LA is like, cherry on top? Are you stupid? Like, are you out of your mind? I'm like, I know, guys, but I mean, just the beating of the Dodgers
won a World Series, dude.
I know.
The beating of the Dodgers is not the World Series. Like, I think that, like, I don't think you're alone, by the way. But I will say that I cannot vibe at all with what you're saying right now. It makes no sense to me that you're going to call the World Series a cherry, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the World Series is the Sunday, and we're not even close to it yet. You got to win 4 games.
I'm going to speak to all those people who feel like Scott. Listen to me good, okay? You are experiencing something called success, okay? When you win again against the Phillies, this feeling of this is amazing. We got to the World Series. I don't care if we win. We got there. It's going to happen again. And then if you happen to win the World Series, beating the Dodgers will seem like a tiny part of what happened because you would have won the entire thing for the first time ever. Will they have made it sweeter that you beat the Dodgers? Absolutely. But the trophy will be far more important than simply beating the Dodgers.
You know what you sound like? Browner, maybe think you'll vibe with, or you'll jive with what I'm saying right now. What Scott sounds like, imagine the Clippers beating the Lakers in the playoffs and then having to face the Nuggets in the conference championship. But Clipper fans are like, yo, we beat them, dog. We freely beat the Lakers in the playoffs. We made it to the conference championship. We did it. Like, that's kind of what you sound like.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And by the way, Browner,
Clippers fans would pour out in the street.
Yeah,
they would be doing donuts and going to bars and getting drunk.
Well, listen,
I was trying to think of something that, like,
it's a good comparison,
and that's probably as close as you can get.
It's a great comparison. But I'll say this, Browner, I'll give you a ton of credit. You have been the most positive person all season long. You have believed when I doubted. You were excited when I refused to get excited. When I thought that the season was spiraling, you were trying to talk me out of that. And you said when they won game 2, you predicted they would win the score 5-3. It was 5-3. And you even predicted that they would win both games in San Diego and that the series would not return to LA. Your positivity is something that I have had a hard time buying into because of 20 years of what I've called scarring, of nothing ever happening right, of no money being spent, of no superstar caliber players, of not seeing success. So again, this is kind of the thing. When somebody said to me yesterday in LA, the Padre fans are celebrating like they just won the World Series, I go, hold on, bro. Hold on. The phrase act like you've been there before, haven't been there before. So you know what? Celebrate, have fun, have a great time with this. Because I will say this, all of my cynicism has prevented me from enjoying this incredible run.
Yeah.
So, all right, listen.
There's like a clip of like Kobe, I think like 2009 or 10-ish, when it's like job's not done. And he could act that way because the dude already had 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So when people are like, I know we're going to go, when people in San Diego are like, act that way, bro, we're acting like we won the World Series every time because we haven't.
Yeah. Well, listen, let's do this. We got a lot more to
Party
get
will
to.
only get bigger.
Lot more to get to on this game. We're taking everybody right up to the pregame on ESPN, but I see my man Gary Cooper is going to stop by for a minute. Gary's going to talk a little bit about some business stuff that we all need to hear, and then we're right back to it. Stick around. Well, wait a second. Here's Gary. All right. Hey, guys, I know we've been talking a ton of Padres and Dodgers, and we'll get back to it as we're leading everybody right into getting ready for the game. Pregame starts here on the radio airwaves of 1090 at 4:30. Game time is at 5 o'clock. So for everybody that's driving down, stick with us. Gary Cooper is standing by. Hey, Gary, quick question for you. Do you still get the hard copy newspaper?
Of course I do.
Okay. And did you get it today?
I do, but I read it tomorrow because they never deliver on time. So I'm always reading yesterday's paper.
Oy vey. I mean, listen, I know a lot of people that listen to this show a day later on podcast and they're catching up, but reading the newspaper a day later, I mean, my gosh, talk about like old news. Anyway, check out the front page of the sports section because yet again, a monster, colorful ad on the front page of the sports for 1090 saying this game is so big between the Padres and the Phillies that it had to go on 1090. And Gary, oh my gosh, are we being total disruptors in this town right now
love it.
by putting ESPN Radio's broadcast of the Padres and the Phillies in the NLCS back on 1090 where the Padres always belong? It is pissing a lot of people off. And I got to be honest with you, I love it.
I love it as well. Because you know what? The Meyer 1090, it's the sports station of San Diego.
So, Gare, do us a favor here because we really want to get back to Pods Phils, but we also want you to educate our listeners, our viewers on what's going on in the housing market right now. I always tell people that you say it's still a great time to buy. Why so?
Well, first and foremost, I always want to make sure the listeners know I don't say things to create a sense of urgency. I will never give false sense of urgencies. And I always try to give you the very best up-to-date information and as accurate as possible because it's a direct reflection of me and my company. But people are still worried about, is it still a good time to buy? Gee, I think there was a poll taken and 75% of consumers don't think it's a good time to buy. And here's my argument. Rates rise in an inflationary environment like we're in now. Rates fall on a deflationary times when the economy slows down. The yield curve in the U.S. has been inverted since March of this year when the Feds began raising interest rates. Since the year 1955, every single time, I'm going to repeat that, every single time the yield curve has inverted, the U.S. has entered into a recession within 6 to 22 months. Since the year 1900, no exaggeration, the yield curve has inverted 28 times, and when the U.S. entered into a recession, in 22 of those 28 times. This isn't me telling you that rates will be lower the next year or any other source. It's history telling us that rates should be lower sometime next year. So my point being is that you're going to even it out. If you want to buy a house, why is this a good time? Because sellers are more willing to work with you. And one of the things that I'm starting to find successful is asking for the sellers to give, like, for instance, a 2% seller credit, which means that they're giving, let's say your purchase price is $700,000. 2% of that is $14,000. You can take that $14,000 seller credit and do what's called a 2-1 buy down for your financing, which means you're paying down your interest rate for 2 years. The seller's paying that for you, meaning that, let's say for the first year, you're fixed at 5%. The second year, you'll be fixed at 6%. The third year, you'll be fixed at 7% and stay that way for the rest of the term of the loan. So it gives you the opportunity to get in with a little bit lower, more comfortable payment. You graduate the second year, you stay that way. And should interest rates fall as we are anticipating at some point when we hit that recession, then it's an opportunity to be able to do a rate and term refinance and lower your monthly payment. But there's options out there. And I just don't want the people think, oh man, this market's crashing, I'm going to sit by on the sidelines. Because while the home values might be coming down, interest rates are going up. And it's going to cost you more in rate if you wait for that. So if you can afford a home, let's see what you can be pre-approved for, and see where you stand and see what kind of inventory is out there that might fit your needs. It may not be right now, but it could be down the road. So I just want to kind of just address everybody that it is honestly a good time to buy.
Gary Cooper, Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty Services, but we're focusing on the realty services right now. 858-376-1299, 858-376-1299. A lot of great information there, Gare. And we're going to get back to talking Padres and Phillies. Have a great rest of your day. And for everybody that's watching and listening, stick around. We're taking you right up to the pregame show on ESPN Radio here on 1090. Padres, Phillies, Game 1. We're getting right back to it next here on Kaplan and Crew.
Many are adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylambert.com for your consultation.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
The Rich Eisen Show airs Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. An engaging blend of insightful football expertise with an offbeat mix of humor and pop culture while continuing to attract the most recognizable names in sports and entertainment. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Drivers are getting in accidents at a rate we've never seen before, jumping 18% since 2020. There are higher incidents of speeding and more aggressive driving since the pandemic began. Please slow down and drive safely. It can save a life.
Please welcome 4 of the 5 San Diego County Teachers of the Year from the 2021-2022 school year. From Central Elementary School, Laura Reyes. From Westfield High School, Tiffany Jokers. From San Jose Elementary School, Jacqueline Jorge. And from St. Joe Southwest Middle School, Zara Sanders. Teachers, please deliver the pitch. San Diego County Teachers of the Year with their honorary pitch.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on Your View and yourview.com. Your Health is brought to you by Clever Care Health Plan, your partners for comprehensive care.
At the Barnes firm, we're seeing more pedestrian and bicycle accidents. Drivers are rolling through red lights, and distracted driving makes every intersection a danger zone for pedestrians. Look both ways when crossing, even if you have the right of way.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the Mightier1090.com.
Hola, I'm JR Cardenas.
And I'm Vanessa Ramirez.
We're the hosts for Su Vida, where we showcase California restaurants, music,
art, culture, and so much more.
We would love to talk to you about featuring your business on our show.
Yes, and as an added bonus, you get to keep the professional video segment to repurpose and use on your website or social media channels.
Please click on the link below to get more information about how to put your business on Su Vida.
We hope to hear from you soon.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Brought to you by Procopio, San Diego's largest law firm, committed to community, representing San Diegans for more than 75 years. You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and YourView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Many are adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylambert.com for your consultation.
Hey, what's going on to all of our Cox Your View viewers out there? Scott Kaplan here from the Kaplan and Crew Studios. And coming up this weekend, if you are a rugby fan, now I will tell you, I don't know the game of rugby all that well, but I do know this. It's gotten real popular here in San Diego in particular. I know a lot of people whose kids play high school rugby, going on to play rugby in college, and a big collegiate rugby event, and it will be streamed all weekend with YourView, and it'll be televised on Sunday, the semifinals and the finals. Liz Entwistle will be on the call during the television broadcast, and she's joining us right now. Hi, Liz. How are you?
Hi, Scott. Doing well. I'm thrilled to be here and thrilled for the event this weekend. We've had quite a fall so far of warm-up tournaments and getting to see a lot of these teams in action and really a full season back, given all of the pauses and changes within the last 2 years, too. So it'll be fantastic seeing a lot of these teams at full strength.
So, Liz, complete rugby novice, know very little. You know, there used to be a sevens event here in San Diego many years ago that I got to see in person, and I love to see the athletes in the game, but I don't know a whole lot about it. Can you tell us about what the weekend is, what the West Coast Sevens tournament is all about?
Sure. So I'll go back. That tournament that is in San Diego was actually part of the World Rugby World Sevens Series. And that is an event that takes place over the course of several weekends throughout the year, all around the world. We'll be coming up to Hong Kong, which is a remake of last year's event this October. But then it starts again with Dubai, Cape Town, South Africa, a stop that's now in Los Angeles, Vancouver. And a lot of players from programs that are participating in this weekend's West Coast Sevens have played for the USA team, but also for other national teams. So this event was started in 2011 when the Olympics awarded Rugby Sevens a spot in the Rio Olympics. And since then, we've had the Olympic Games in Tokyo as well. And it's really set up as a tournament to take college rugby and elevate it and provide more playing opportunities. So we actually had a first leg at Cal Poly that was the weekend prior to this. And before that, a warm-up tournament at UCLA, the Westwood Sevens. Meanwhile, teams by University of San Diego and UCSD actually played each other in some friendly scrimmages. So it's all about game preparation, elevating programs, providing more opportunities to play, and tons of action. So with 16 teams this weekend, there'll be 4 pools of 4. You're going to see national champion caliber teams. Cal Berkeley is a team to look for. University of Arizona, we'll see Utah coming in, but also some defending national champions in the form of University of Southern California, who won the USA Rugby, the blue division in the national championships at Kennesaw State earlier this year. And then we also saw University of San Diego win the men's red division, which is a D1 AA competition. And 4 of these teams also competed in the gold D1A level too. So there's so many interesting storylines to look for in terms of programs on the rise, established teams, who's going to be the next national team player. A program like UCLA has a player in the form of Lucas LeCamp, who's actually not playing in this competition because he's in the USA Rugby national team setup. And so he's in residency in Chula Vista, hoping to get a World Series spot and build towards the next cycle of the Olympics and the Rugby World Cup.
Okay, so I am just so blown away by everything you just said, and I wish we had like 20 minutes. We've only got a few. I love opportunity for athletes, and it just sounds like there is so much in rugby. So here's a question for you: are these varsity teams at these universities? Are these club teams? Can you just explain that? We've got about 2 minutes to go, but I'd really love to hear about that.
Yes, a few of the teams are varsity teams. So University of California, Berkeley has been an established varsity program for quite some time. If you think of legacy programs, they are the old like Iowa men's wrestling or like the UNC and Duke basketball of the rugby world. We have teams like Grand Canyon University out of Arizona. That's a relatively new program, but also has players sign a commitment letter and provides a lot of opportunities kind of at the next level. Some of these programs, like the USC program I mentioned, Nevada, Reno, UC Davis, these are club teams. And some of them will train, twice a week and do strength and conditioning sessions. Some of them will train 5 days a week. So there's opportunities for entry points to rugby at any level. And sometimes you'll see a player that may start at, say like a Sacramento State that really wants to take their rugby career further and pursue an opportunity at the programs like a GCU, or see if they can transfer into like a Berkeley and programs like that as well. So it just kind of depends on what sort of pipeline and different entry points that people have too. Because a lot of these players will have played over the summer for sevens. A lot of them will affiliate with men's clubs teams. And quite a lot of these players are actually in major league rugby academies, particularly with the San Diego Legion and the LA Giltinis. They've got fantastic academy setups similar to soccer setups.
I am so glad you just mentioned the San Diego Legion because they're on my radar. I got to get more into this. Hey, listen, I want to say to everybody who's watching right now, yourview.com, YURVIEW, yourview.com, Saturday from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 p.m. We're streaming all day. Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, from 9 a.m. till later in the day, almost 5 o'clock. That's when you're going to see all of this stuff. The semifinals and the final games between 2 and 4:40 in the afternoon on television. Liz, have a great call for all of these games, and thanks for the information. We really appreciate it.
Not a problem. For more information, you can follow the West Coast Sevens either on the internet, also all over social media too. Stay tuned for all the scoring updates, player highlights, and more.
There you go. Liz Entwistle, great to visit with you. Stick around. More to come.
Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, you. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Many are adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylambert.com for your consultation.
Watch live streaming rugby action for 2 full days with West Coast Sevens Collegiate Tournament from Treasure Island in San Francisco on Saturday, October 22nd and Sunday, October 23rd on yourview.com. See some of the best college teams in the West, including the #1 ranked Cal Golden Bears and the 2019 Cup champions, UCLA. Then tune in and catch the televised Cup semifinals and finals on YourView from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday, October 23rd. Visit yourview.com for more information.
Change the way you look and feel with San Diego's most comprehensive varicose and spider vein treatment facility. San Diego Varicose Vein Treatment Center offers minimally invasive, pain-free procedures performed by board-certified cardiologist Dr. Tahizadeh. With over 17 years of experience, we specialize in the diagnosis of varicose veins, spider veins on the face, hands, and legs, ankle discoloration, leg swelling, and more. Improve your vein health today. Visit consultation.sdveintreatment.com or call 619-582-2404.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and yourview.com. Your Health is brought to you by Clever Care Health Plan, your partners for comprehensive care.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.